in our old core classes, and we have students that are in our currently our newer version of core classes. Students that started in the program after fall of 2013 are in our new core, and you can see those classes listed directly on this document. You can look at your degree works report at any time, and there's a section that's specifically for your core courses if you are unsure which ones pertain to you. Students that want to take the exam, typically it is done in your last semester at EKU. You need to have 30 hours completed and preferably all 6 core courses. There are times that we will permit students to take the comprehensive exam if you're currently enrolled in your last core course. So questions on if you are eligible to take the exam in a particular semester could be directed to me directly by email or by phone. The way that you will sign up to take the exam is I will send out some emails as well as the enrollment advisor during the course of a semester and ask who is eligible or who wants to check if they're eligible, and create basically a list of students who are desiring to take the upcoming exam. Once you get on my list, I will begin to send out documents such as this and give you more specific details on the process at that time. Make sure that you always use your EKU student email, and that is the only email address that I'll communicate with, and all emails from me will go directly to that email address alone. This exam requires you to register for GRD 897C. This is a no-cost, no-credit course. It will not cost you any money. However, it is something that you must register for in order to take the exam. This is not a CRN that you will register for at the beginning of a term like all of your other classes. Before you are permitted to register, I must verify that you are eligible to take the exam, and I must also approve your proctor as well. So you will not register for the exam until approximately 30 days before the exam takes place. Students can come to EKU and take the exam. It is completely free. No proctoring fees are charged for that. Students need to indicate to me by email if they are coming to EKU, so we have the appropriate number of seats available for you. If you do not wish to come to Richmond, you can use a proctor. There'll be a proctor form that we'll look at in a moment. Proctors can be used from any official testing center. Most universities offer some sort of testing center services. There are some cities that have official testing centers that are not associated with the university as well. So those are also possibilities, and sometimes public libraries even offer proctoring services. So proctor fees are a responsibility of the student. Those vary from location to location. So a designated date for the proctor form to be turned in will be specified to you, and you need to get that proctor form to me so I can begin the approval process. Please note that you will take the exam from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in your time zone, not the time zone where EKU is located. I'm not going to go through all the details of this, but this is going to talk a little bit what you must do with a proctor. Locating a proctor, there is a link here that might give you some possibilities, but most students tend to be at least near a university, even if it's a short drive, that can offer them that opportunity to have their exam proctored. The results will be posted approximately 2 weeks after the exam, and you will see those results in EKU Direct. You want to get an S for satisfactory, which means that you passed. If you see an I or an IP, that means you failed at least one question, and you will get further communication from me at that time. Please make sure that when you register for GRD 897C that you are committed to taking the exam. Once students register for this, they typically are not allowed to drop it. So if any issues arise after you have registered for this exam, you need to contact me immediately at that time. If a student fails part of the comp exam, the process is listed here. There are 4 questions on the exam, and students must pass all 4 questions to pass the entire exam. If you fail one question, you will have to retake only that one question at the next offering of the exam. If you fail more than one question, you will be required to take the entire exam again at its next offering. Students will have 1 year from the time that they took their initial exam to pass all parts of it, but you only have 2 attempts. So if you take an exam in March and do not pass it, you are eligible to take it in July. If you're not ready in July, you also have the opportunity to take it in November or at the very latest in March of the following year. So all parts must be passed in 2 attempts within that 1 year time limit. If you fail a question, you will go through a remediation process with the instructor that graded that question, and that's just going to give you more detailed, individualized feedback on what you did incorrectly and what you need to make sure that you do going forward. If you are a student that has failed the exam, then I will be in contact with you and give you more detailed instructions at that time. There is no scheduled review session. However, there is always a study guide that is posted. The Spring 2016 study guide is posted, and we'll look at that in just a moment. You can see it on this link. You can also see it on the portal that's on Blackboard, and you can also search SSEM Comprehensive Exam on EKU's webpage and get a link for it as well. So if you have other questions, then obviously you can always contact me at those numbers and information there below. The Comprehensive Study Guide is here. This exam or this document is going to show you the sequence of the test. It's also going to show you previous questions from each of the core classes that were used on exams in the past, and also a little paragraph or two about what each instructor feels like you need to know for that particular class. You'll see at the top of this page there's a 3-hour morning session from 9 a.m. to noon. You get an hour break for lunch, and then there's an afternoon session from 1 to 4. This gives students approximately an hour and a half for each question that they are required to answer. The exam itself is given on Blackboard. It will not be available to you to view until you are at the test site on the day of the exam. You will see a morning session link, and once you click on morning session, you will have 4 questions that are presented to you. One of those questions should not pertain to you, because if you are in the old core or the new core classes, there's going to be a class that's listed there that you didn't take. So automatically only 3 out of those 4 questions will you be eligible to answer. At that point in time, you can choose 2 out of those 3 questions to answer. So you'll have approximately an hour and a half for each question in the morning session. The document itself, once you click on the question, it will open up a Word document for you. You'll simply type your answers in Microsoft Word. You will save your answers to the computer where you are at, and then you will browse your computer, find your document, and submit just as you have done on all of your other Blackboard classes for assignments. So that is the process for the morning, completing 2 out of 3 questions. Once the morning session is over, you cannot go back and work on those questions any longer. The afternoon session will be exactly the same, and you'll answer 2 out of the 3 questions of which you are eligible to answer as well. If you are using a proctor site, or if you're coming to EKU, we ask for you to print out your answers, and your proctor will keep those. We ask this just in case there was any issues with Blackboard submissions. We all know there are times that things don't submit as we think they should on Blackboard, so this gives us a backup in case it's needed to be able to have those printed copies of your answers sent to EKU for grading. The 3-hour time limit is it. Once you open the exam, then your 3-hour limit will start. If you have some sort of technical issues and you're using a proctor, they will contact our instructional designer or IT people. We will make sure if you are delayed in your 3-hour time because of technical issues, we will make sure that you get your full 3 hours, even if it runs past the designated time. This is a closed book test. No materials of any kind can be used. You cannot use the internet in any sort of way. Blackboard will be open on your computer and Microsoft Word, and nothing else will be permitted at that time. You'll see in the sequence of the test, the old core classes, you'll see which classes are offered in the morning. So students in the old core can choose from 8:15, 8:26, and 8:22. They'll answer 2 out of those 3. Students in the new core will choose from the classes that are listed here. So again, if you have any questions at all, which questions pertain to you or the rotation of the classes, as far as morning and afternoon goes, please send me an email or give me a call to answer those for you. So at the end of the day, 4 questions is all that you will have answered. The score is strictly pass or fail, so you will only see S as far as satisfactory, or I or IP is in progress. It's never too early to begin preparing for the exam. If you have your textbooks from previous classes, go ahead and get those together now. If you have saved anything, assignments, tests, anything that you used in these 6 core classes, getting those together and putting them in a fashion that makes sense to you when it comes time to study is helpful to go ahead and get that out of the way. Classes do not remain on Blackboard for the entire time that you are a student. So as you are taking core classes, make sure that you save everything that you need off of that Blackboard shell. Once that class disappears from Blackboard for you, I can't make it come back. It has disappeared and it's gone. So if you don't have materials that you think that you needed, then you can look at the study guide and see which questions each instructor writes and grades, and contact them directly for maybe other information they might be able to help you with as far as studying. Make sure that when you are taking the exam that you read the questions carefully. You'll see some of them are quite lengthy. They may have scenarios that go along with them, so read those. Make sure that you understand all parts of those, and obviously get a good night's sleep. Make sure that you are clear on what's being asked, and just do your best. There is not a set page length for any answers, so some students may answer in 4 pages what others answer in 8 or 9. So answer each question completely and to the best of your ability. You will see through here, this is the first example, SSE 880. Sarah Morris is the instructor that writes and grades it. These are topics that she thinks that you need to review, and then you'll look down through here and see previous questions on exams. And the rest of the entire study guide is set up just like that for all of the core classes. The last document that I wanted to show you, this is if you are using a proctor. These are proctor instructions that will be sent out. Proctors will not have to have a password. They don't receive a packet from EKU. There's nothing of that nature that comes to them. They will simply make sure that you can get logged on to Blackboard. You do need to have a printer available to you, so you can leave the printed copy of your answers with your proctor. But other than that, there are no other materials, passwords, anything of that nature that is needed. So this is what I'll send to all potential proctors, and I will notify you as soon as your proctor has been approved. So this is a very quick overview of the comprehensive exam itself, and I will be happy to talk to any of you one-on-one. If you have more individual questions, reach out to me at any time. Just make sure that you continue to check your email from me once you indicate that you are interested in taking an exam. I'll send out quite a few emails during this time, and most of that's important information I want you to know. So just let me know if there's anything else that I can do for you, and good luck on the exam.